good evening, and welcome to Damage Does D&D. Tonight, the investigators. It's all exciting stuff, you know. I will hand you across to our DM. Lovely Martin, please take it away.
Wait, that's me.
Yes, it is.
Hello. In our last outing, we had Mazdak flying through the mushroom swamp after the bag that had been taken by a tiny little adorable bear. Turned out to have been trained to do such things. The rest of the party gave chase, and after a good couple of hours trekking through the swamp, Mazdak found himself face to face with the mother shroom and subsequently Amanita, who lived in there. There was a nice bit of conversation and a little bit of chat. Some tea was drunk. It was all rather pleasant. And then the rest of the party arrived and they entered and were offered the same hospitality before the demands of Amanita, the fungal hag, began. In order to safely pass through the swamp, a toll was to be paid. Each party member was allowed to discuss with Amanita, the rest being sent outside with the door disappearing, so they couldn't get back in. Although a possible attempt at trying to carve a new door was made, but stopped. As, the particular god in play there thought it would be unwise to do so. But conversations were had with the hag, and all is well. Everybody got out with all of their lives and limbs.
For now.
And my bag.
And Mazdak got to keep his bag, which was untouched. Seemingly the bears are there just to subtly draw people in rather than actually steal. But now we pick up with the party outside of the giant mushroom in the center of the swamp. And you've been told that you're free to leave. So that's where we'll pick up.
So we're all free to leave from this area, which we would not have entered were it not for the bears stealing our bags and bringing us into this area. And now we are all lesser items and memories for safe passage. In this area we wouldn't have entered. I have that right, yes?
Yes, I think so. But it was worth it just to have a chat
Good.
with Amanita. She seemed very nice.
She's very nice.
Shall we then?
Of course.
Yes. This place unnerves me.
So you pick up, well, not the trail, because you followed the trail here and that's where it ended, but you wander round the trunk of the giant mushroom to the other side and continue heading north through the forest, through the swamp.
Mushroom swampy forest.
Swampy forest. As you do so, it seems a little easier on the old feet. There's not quite so many patches of difficult puddles, and the ground is a little bit firmer. It feels like even perhaps the mushrooms have just moved out the way slightly to give you free access out.
For everyone?
I mean,
So
this seems much easier. See, Amanita was very helpful.
On the likelihood that we're going to have to climb up the cliff, get out of this area, Can you try not running away by yourself again?
I can certainly try, yes.
Excellent. Because having you around would have made getting down easier.
Well, yes, I mean, I could have cast Featherfall on everyone and everybody would have floated safely to the ground.
Well, lead on.
It's going to be slightly more difficult trying to cast Featherfall to go up, because that's not how it works. Obviously, the clue is in the name, Featherfall. Rather
We could
than
try.
the Feather Catapult, which would be rather interesting.
If we perhaps cast it on the lightest member of the group,
That would be me.
tied a rope to them, tossed them up the cliff.
Right. No, I don't think
Sounds
we'll be
like
doing
a
that.
brilliant idea.
Well, technically, the lightest member of the party would be Imarius. Pop him in his ring and just chuck him.
I can't just go into my ring. I have to save that. And I can fly, so.
Well,
Can
there
you not
go.
fly?
Yes. Right. So,
So am I right in thinking we're approaching another cliff face, or is there actually a path out of here?
So yeah, it did. I didn't quite know where to interrupt there. It felt like it was still mid-conversation, but nobody spoke. But as you continue walking through awkward conversation, evidently, it's another couple of hours before you indeed meet a cliff face.
how high, roughly?
About the same, 200 feet, probably.
Up or down?
Up. Yeah, back up. The entire swamp is sort of sunk into this valley.
Right, you ready with the rope?
We can shoot the rope again. Crawl.
What do you want me to do?
I think they're going to put a rope up
Yeah,
for the people that can't fly.
200 feet up, and we've only got 50 feet of rope.
Mm.
Well, this is tricky.
I look down the different ways down alongside the cliff to see if there's any parts where it seems to start sloping up.
Make a perception check for me.
I'm notoriously good at those. 13.
Everything I ask you to do, you're terrible at.
Yep.
It's almost
Well,
as if
that's
it
what
was
happens when
planned that way.
Is looking at you.
Bernie is very good at hitting things with swords. That's kind of her domain. Oh, and being
Ooh,
sad.
you could
Very good
carve
at
a
being
path
sad.
for us in the cliff with your sword. You should be good at that.
That's not really hitting things with the sword.
You're hitting the cliff with your sword. Work with me here.
I mean, I could throw snowballs at it if you wish. If that would help.
How would that help?
But I don't know. Climbing cliffs is not really my strong point.
I'm sure you've read about climbing cliffs, though.
I don't think so. It's not really one of the subjects that really interest me. It's not very magical, you see. Magic tends to interest me rather than, physical exertion.
Like
leave-
the other.
I leave that to you and Bernier and Sasha. Those are the physical people. This seems like a physical problem.
I
Like-
see.
Like the other cliff, has it got mushroom trees next to it?
There's a couple pretty close. That'll get you a little bit higher up.
Is this cliff face sheer, or is it sort of like uneven, so there's handholds all the way up?
Make a survival check.
20.
Okay. Yeah, it's vertical but climbable
Right. So
with sufficient skill.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So me being a smart cookie, I'm going to start climbing, and I'm going to start mapping a route where the handholds are stay.
Okay. Make an athletics check then as you begin to climb.
So just very well, because I've got no bonuses or anything, so that's a 15.
Okay. You make a decent enough start.
I think this is just going to be a case of climbing the cliff. I look to Mazdak and Amarius. You may
I'm
fly
not-
if you wish.
I cannot fly at the moment. I used my fly spell already today.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It
But
is.
I'll do my whatchamacallit? What's it called? My elemental gift.
Okay, so
Flying speed of 30 feet. That lasts for 10 minutes, during which time you can hover.
certainly, yeah, you can begin flying and go straight up if you want.
Yeah, I won't zoom up. I'll make sure that I'm not the first one up there, just in case it's dangerous up there.
I think we should have attached the rope to him.
Like a balloon, keep him from flying away.
That too.
I'm going to look between Salviel and Sasha. Which of us is the strongest, would you say?
Well, based on what happened last time, maybe Sasha should go last.
Should I go next?
I'm gonna just look down, and I'm gonna cast Reduce on Mazdak, so one of the big people can carry him up.
Ah, perfect. And I'm going
Even
to
smaller.
go over to Mazdak. I'm going to
Yeah, so
tie a rope around him.
Mazdak's size is halved in all dimensions, and his weight is reduced to 1/8 of its normal.
Wow.
Seeing that, I'm going to tie a rope around Mazdak.
Right, okay. So I'm about 2.5 feet tall now.
Convenient.
Tiny
A
Mazdak.
good spell, Mazdak.
It wasn't me. I didn't do this to me.
Hmm.
Somebody else did this to me.
I'm then going to lift Mazdak up.
Oh, it does mean that my voice is quite squeaky, and possibly I talk even faster now. That's a brilliant spell. I wonder if I could read quite as much as I can talk. That would be brilliant, wouldn't
I'm
it?
going
If I could read
put
even
him
faster
on
now.
my shoulders. I'm going to then tie the other end of the rope around my waist. And I'm going to begin climbing with Mazdak on my shoulders. Or
Okay.
mini,
Die together.
Mini-Zdak.
Minizdak.
Mini-Zdak.
Minstack.
Okay. I'll also have an athletics check from you, please. Whereabouts are you hovering, Amarius?
Yeah.
Who's leading? Qual.
Yeah.
Probably just about 5 feet away from the cliff edge and about 10 feet below him.
Okay.
Athletics is overrated, you know.
Uh-huh. How did you do?
10.
Ooh.
That's a good number, right? It's got 2 digits.
You begin climbing, your feet kind of slip. The extra weight, despite Mazdak weighing less, I mean, you get sort of 10 feet up and you can't really find where was it that Pra went from here? And you kind of just sort of stuck on the side there.
I'm glad Valaya has mossy plains. I don't think I can carry him.
Okay. I will untie the rope from around my waist and, standing on Bernier's shoulders, start to climb up.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yeah. How is your reduced weight going to affect this?
I don't know, but I got an 18.
Doesn't it give you disadvantage on strength ability checks?
Yes. And saving
Okay,
throws.
I will roll it again then.
And being shorter won't it take longer anyway.
Still did better than Bernier. 12.
Helping.
You start to make some progress. Very slow.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the little
Ben-
bear handholds.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they've got quite sharp claws. You saw them climbing, and they basically just put them in.
Yeah,
and
so I'm
sort
just
of
going to put my fingers into the claw holes. help myself
Bernier's luck is lore accurate.
Yeah.
Without the weight of Mazdak, then I'll start climbing again.
Okay. Well, try it again then. Have another roll.
That's a bit different.
up. Oof. I wasn't that heavy.
25.
There you go.
Apparently you are.
You overtake Mazdak now.
Just climb.
Okay. The other two still on the floor. What's your game plan? I mean, I will point out as DM-ness here, you knew you were going to climb a mountain and chose not to go and buy any sort of special gear.
In fairness, climbing a mountain to go kill a thing is completely different than trying to climb a sheer cliff to get out of the swamp.
I have an intelligence of 10.
I have no real world experience at all.
Completely,
So I
like
wouldn't know what I would buy.
absolutely understand in-game reasons, but also just saying.
I have
But
a
I'm just going
wisdom
to go
of
with the
11.
in-character reason of, like, Leosoul provides.
Mm.
And what are such stupidity?
Okay. Well, we still have Salviel and Sasha
Yes.
at ground level.
I'm going
Floor.
to briefly look up to the sky and say, this was your idea, and start climbing.
Okay.
I do love that. Like, none of this is my fault attitude that Salviel has.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Salviel is chosen.
As you say,
I
that,
didn't
can you
know
make a
him, so-
religion check for me?
Uh-oh.
Given my
Right.
record last week.
11.
was- Yeah, it's
I'm doing as well on religion as I am on climbing.
The boss says, get fucked.
You did an
That's what Rex
acrobatics
says,
rather
get
than
fucked,
an
I'm just not reading it that way.
athletics. Debbie, you did
Oh.
acrobatics rather than athletics.
Oh, that's a good point. My athletics is far better. But does not want to roll well.
Well, what was
12.
12. 12 for the climb check and 11 for the religion check.
this is... Okay, well, you're going about the same sort of pace as Mazdak, so you make a start. You begin heading up. Sasha, you're the only one left.
I'm just going to give them a bit of time to get part way up. Sheath my sword on my back, and then start climbing.
Okay. Same for you then.
$24.
Easy. Yeah. You're doing that thing where you're trying to walk down a supermarket aisle with a little old lady in front of you, and you're just sort of trying to find that way past. No, this is easy. Going up is easier than coming down. So now with 5 of you on the cliff face and Imarius hovering nearby, you will start to make your way up. Kral, as you sort of hit the midway point, this has been a bit of a slog. I can't remember what your role was, but
15.
not in the okay. Yeah. So this is hard. This is hard work, especially with your weight. No shame, but
He's a big boy.
he is a big boy.
He's just lucky that he's got his claws.
It helps. Make as you get to the halfway, make another athletics check.
Yeah, I'll take that. One better this time, 16.
Okay. So you're doing okay. You're keeping it nice and steady, going a decent pace, not rushing, moving your way up. Next was Imarius. Are you still just...
Yeah, just staying behind. I don't want to be the first one over the top. How long has this taken so far?
Well, Kral's currently 100 feet up. And what would your climb speed be? Half your...
30 feet. Flying speed of 30 feet.
Well, what would Kral's climb speed be?
Oh.
Because he's who you're sticking with.
Yeah, so my normal movement is 30 feet, so we'd be looking at 15 feet, wouldn't we?
15, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, a couple of minutes. I mean, if you're taking in combat 6-second slots for every 15 feet, it's not that long. It's a minute at most.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Next then was Mazdak.
Okay.
So
Disadvantage again, yeah?
at disadvantage again while you are enshrinkened.
Seven.
Okay. You were trying to sort of follow these claw marks left by the bear or bears, but the narrowness of their claws is too small for your even shrunk fingers to get into, and you're still trying to sort of grip into those, but it's a bit awkward, and eventually you try too hard to push in and the rock just crumbles away as you dig in. Bernia, you're immediately behind.
I thought Bernia had overtaken me.
Oh, I should have done Bernia first then. Who's... that doesn't matter. Who's then? Salviel, you're next?
Yeah.
Oh, it should be that way. Can you make a deck saving throw, please, as Mazdak slips? Bernia, did you keep the rope attached?
I untied it.
Mazdak untied it from himself.
Okay.
Quick question, DM, before the dex check comes in. Have we still got that override of max HP? Or is that worn off yet? That was 24 hours, wasn't
Ooh. I'll say you still got it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember what time of day
Yeah. Okay.
that was, but so Salviel, you were going to Mazdak slipped and you just reach out a hand to try and grab him as he does. Make a dex saving throw. Actually, make it at advantage because he's small and catching him would be easier at this point. Debbie?
Sorry?
Salviel, that'll be you, yes?
Sorry. Yes, sorry. Apologies.
Mazdak
Which check am I
slip.
doing? Oh, Mazdak
Mazdak
slip. I'm
is-
trying to catch him then.
Can you, yes, make a dexterity saving throw at advantage because he's little.
Ooh. My first good rolls of the evening, 18 and 20.
Nice.
There you go. Right, so Mazdak, you sort of slip off and you just sort of stumble a bit, and there's basically a hand that comes up and just sort of on your bum, just sort of pushes you back against the wall.
Start climbing up again then.
As this happens, the reduction probably wears off.
Oh, was that a minute? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, so that's a good point to end that spell. Bernia, I skipped over you. Sorry, I got the order wrong. You're hitting the halfway point as well, just before Mazdak slips. Make another check. Oh, you're nailing it.
24.
Yeah, cool. You're keeping up nicely with Kral. Salviel, then you're next to continue climbing as you hit the halfway point.
13.
Okay. The the little slip and you having to take a hand off and keep Mazdak stuck to the wall is kind of like giving you pause a little bit. This is really dangerous. Don't look down, but you just sort of center yourself and just keep going. And lastly, Sasha.
Can you get past the old lady?
Ooh.
Oh no, Sasha. Oh no.
100 feet of falling damage. Wow.
Well, we have safe passage, so maybe a mushroom will catch her.
She's not smart. She's got wings. Be fine.
So Sasha, as you're sort of watching everything that's going on in front of you, I can't believe it was you both times now. It's a natural one as well. You're watching everything that's going on in front as Mazdak slips.
Can I use my reaction to cast Featherfall on her? Or, I mean, I'm asking because it seems unlikely I'd be able to because I can't see her. And I've just nearly slipped myself, so I'm just asking for a DM ruling, really.
Make a perception check at disadvantage, just to see if you catch it. And as you say, the disadvantage because of the almost falling yourself.
How far away is she? How far down is she
11.
from me?
Quite a bit from you, Bernia. You're second and Sasha's last.
Yeah, I was just looking and no, I don't have the range. I think.
How many extra hit points did we get from the food buff? Because when I long rested, it went.
Oh. Is it 9? I've got a
Was-
feeling
yes, it was 9.
Yeah, it's 9. Yeah, because my HP is normally 53, but it's 62 at the moment.
When I'm 53.
I was thinking of that.
Mine's normally 16. It's 25.
Yeah.
Wizards. Never even once.
When you slipped, I was worried.
I'll be fine.
Go on,
So
then,
the
give it to
Um,
me.
So, Sasha, yeah, as you are just distracted for a second, you lose your grip, you just fall. It was a complete flap. You tumble backwards, slam against the mud of the swamp, which cushions it slightly. But you take 32 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Yeah,
Oof out your bones.
that would have killed me. If I didn't...
Outright.
Well, I've only got 25, so it would kill me, but if I'd have been on my normal HP, that would have killed me outright.
Yeah.
No death saves, nothing, just gone.
Still with us, Sasha?
Exactly.
We're basically gods.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Martin's sitting there going, I'm glad you asked that question.
At least it was the person with the most hit points who fell.
Sasha, it takes you a second to just sort of gather yourself again, open your eyes, as you sort of just lying back, looking up this cliff at people clinging on to the side, looking down, worried to see if you're okay. Except Mazdak, he didn't notice.
Sorry.
Just give me a moment. I'll just sort of lie there for a minute.
How loud are you guys shouting as you're calling down?
Loud enough to be heard.
I didn't notice.
I didn't notice.
I'm not bothered.
I've stopped and I'm looking, but I'm only going to call out if I don't see Sasha move for a few minutes.
Do you then, Sasha?
I'll sort of gingerly sit up. Mumble to myself under my breath, probably in Celestial. Words that would have made my mother,
Very disappointed.
Disappointed. Yeah.
no, not disappointed, shocked
Cringe.
and
Shocked and disgusted.
and slowly stand myself back up again and brush myself down. Take a swig of whiskey to numb the pain a little,
Yeah.
and then go again.
Kral, you're probably getting close to the top by this point. Sasha's taken a second to collect yourself. Amarius, were you going to poke your head over or just wait for Kral to go over the top?
No, I'm going to wait for Kral to go over the top, because then it's not my responsibility.
Yeah. When I get sort of like the last 20 feet or so, Kez would go shooting up straight past me and go about 60 feet up in the air.
Okay.
And just be looking around.
Okay. Kez sees.
I can roll perception for him if you want.
Oh yes, please. Sorry.
So I get an extra +1 because I think you went for level 7. It's +5 instead of +4. 15.
Okay. What Kez sees on this side of the cliff is very similar to the other. There's a good stretch of probably 40 feet from the edge of the cliff to the tree line, and there's this sort of band that runs all the way along the cliff, both ways. There's a figure sat in the tree line, the mushroom line, a little bit to the east of you. A very large figure.
Okay. So how far did we say it was to the east?
Not that far, probably only 50 feet or so.
Okay. Is there a little sort of crevice or a little sort of indent in the rock anywhere?
For what?
I would take like a small sort of ball bearing type thing because I want to use my magical tinkering to put a small message, and it literally just needs to fit in a small alcove.
Just do a investigation check because you're right up close.
Yeah, that's fine.
Something.
18.
Should you be okay? Yeah, you can see something. So you're just sitting that in so that other people can see it as they come up.
Yes. So as they come past, if they touch it, it'll give them the message. Because I can basically include 25 words of text. So it'll just be a larger figure, 50 feet to the east. Be quiet, and I'll leave that in as we go up.
Okay. And once you've done that, are you just going to go up and over the top? Okay. Amarius, then, are you also going up?
Not quite. I'll go down and just offer moral support to everyone still climbing. And then when I get to where Mazdak is, I'll probably just say something like, I thought you said you could fly.
Well, I can. But
Go on then.
only once a day.
Oh. Sucks to be you, hey?
Rude. Oh no. Natalie's turned into some sort of surrealist nightmare. Ah, she's back.
Okay. All right. So, Kral, you're at the top. As you sort of turn and face over the cliff, to your left, then would be that figure. Are you going to have a look, or just worry about getting your people up?
Yeah, I'm going to have a look. I mean,
make a perception check then.
Okay, 23.
Okay, and make an intelligence check for me.
Roger. Actually, yeah, just one less. So, straight intelligence 22.
Okay, cool. So, as you get up, dust yourself off, have a little look over, you can see the figure sat there as... Actually, I'll give you a little image because I generated one for... Because this is a fun way to D&D.
There's a big reveal.
There is a stone giant sat there near the edge of the cliff.
Big chap.
Looks friendly.
The big boy.
Does he sell
The-
sweet corn?
That's what we called. There you go.
There you go. That's what he looks like for everybody on the stream.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, one sec.
Oh no.
That sounded like a guitar.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Qual, you get to the top, you look over, there's just this stone giant sat there. He's got a little campfire. He's just sat there having a little break. Next to him is this enormous boulder, bigger than you. Oh yes, sorry. The intelligence check there was to deem whether you remember either reading yourself or from what Mazdak has sort of told you along the journey from his readings. Stone giants are they tend to there's sort of three jobs that stone giants do in the country. All of which revolve around the building of structures. One of those jobs, what the youngest, most inexperienced will do is basically haul the boulders from the quarries around the mountains to wherever that stone is needed on the building site. And these usually younger stone giants are sort of tasked with that, of just lugging boulders from point A to point B. They are known as being friendly to other travellers that they meet on the road, and they'll often be happy to sit and have a chat and a meal, and have been known to be helpful.
So, remembering sort of that sort of information, I'm going to make like a wide loop so I can come round in front of it. Start making my way towards it.
Okay.
I will just go over to the lip and just wait for everyone else to get up there.
Okay. Is anyone giving any message to people on the cliff to come up it safe or whatnot?
We're going up anyway.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I will verbally abuse those above me anyway, if I have to.
As you should.
As they come up, I'll sort of like pat everyone on the back and go, well,
Okay. Bernia, you're next up, and over the top you can see Kral has just sort of wandered off over that way.
Once I'm at the top, I'll turn around and use the rope to assist anyone climbing behind me if they need it.
Yeah, I would probably gratefully use the rope to help myself up.
And then
Kral is making friends.
Oh, right. Okay. I shall go and help. I'll start walking across.
okay. This is probably about the point where Sasha is starting to latch on the cliff side again. And you're just gonna get going?
Yep.
Okay, make an athletics check then.
Can't go wrong twice in a row, can it?
Surely
Of
not.
course not.
15.
Okay. Yeah, you set off at a decent pace, being a bit more reserved, a bit more cautious than you were before. You start trundling your way up. Kral, you're heading over to the giant.
About what time of the day are we? Still like mid morning ish.
Oh no, you've spent probably 5 hours just walking south to north through the swamp, plus the time to get down and the time at the. So yeah, it's probably mid-afternoon.
Right. So I'm going to emerge cautiously and just be like, well, good afternoon to you.
Oh, hello there. Where did you come from?
Well,
Don't let him hear.
well, we got into a bit of bother, ended up in the swamp over yonder, and just climbed up the cliff to get out.
All right, well, and he just sort of lumbers up. I can help anyone come up if they need.
I think the rest of them should be more or less most of the way up now.
Right.
But thank you very much for your offer. We are here on specific purpose, and I was just wondering if you, which way is it to the nearest sort of town or place where people would, live?
Well, actually, before we get to that, Sasha, as you continue climbing, just make a second and final check, please.
Yes, because this will be the one that gets me to fall to my death.
Yeah.
Thought unconsciousness, at least.
The other way, natural 20. 27.
Good. So yeah, you've almost caught Samuel by the time you get to the top, and you go flying over the top and jump and do a superhero landing or something.
Nice.
But you're up, you're safe, you styled it out. It's all good.
I waited for you.
Just gonna stare at him.
You're welcome. We should get going.
I believe Kral was having a conversation with a giant, though.
So back to Kral, and others can start joining in if they want. Well, there's not a town very close to this, but I did see a little encampment of some hill giants. I had to go quite a long way round to try and avoid them. They can get pretty nasty.
Right. I understand.
But you can feel free to sit down and have something to eat with me.
That's very kind of you. So Kral will just basically take a seat and just chill, and then Kez will just come down and she'll land on the top of his shell.
Oh, he's very good.
And you'll just see sort of like Kral just lean up and whistle and like just click at him a couple of times, and Kez will go flying over and sort of just sit on the top of his head.
Ooh, this is fun.
Hello, I'm Mazdak.
Oh, hi.
Hello, what's your name?
Oh, my name's Emrog.
Emrog. Hello, Emrog. Ah, it's very nice to meet you. You are, of course, a stone giant, aren't you? Yes, that's fantastic. Are you moving stone at the moment, or are you planning to build something, or what is it exactly you're doing today?
Oh well, I've just come from the mountains up north, a bit to the east. I'm taking this big boulder,
Oh.
as you can see, and I'm carrying that all the way down to the south coast.
Wow, that's a long way.
Yeah, but that's my job, you see.
I see. It's interesting. Do you get a lot of time to think and to pontificate on the nature of, well, everything?
I have nothing but time to think.
Fantastic. What a great thing. Do you have books that you can read along your journey when you stop?
It's a little difficult to read a book while you're carrying a massive
Well,
boulder.
I was more thinking of when you stop to make camp to have something to eat.
Oh
or...
right. No, not really. I just sort of sit and do nothing. But it's
You should
nice
have
when
someone like
you can
Mazdak. You should have someone like Mazdak with you. He could speak to you as if you were reading the books aloud.
That's a very good plan. Do you? It must get quite lonely. Do you not have trouble with other giants, other people?
Yeah, sometimes, but other times, you know, we all walk at different speeds, don't we? So
Right.
Mr. Hemrog, have you ever seen a bugbear in these parts?
don't know what that is.
Right. Give me
We
a
do
minute.
get some rather big bugs round here, and little tiny bears actually.
We have met the little tiny bears and Amanita in the mother's room.
Oh no, you were down there, weren't you?
Yes. We
Oh
were.
no,
She was very nice.
was she?
Yeah.
I've never heard that about her.
I thought she was engaging. She liked to learn things, and it was it was an altogether pleasant experience. I gave her an umbrella.
That's nice. Very interesting. What are you guys doing around here anyway?
Well, we're looking for well, not really a friend, more of an acquaintance of ours. She is
Jakoto.
called
Jakoto.
Jakoto. Jakoto. She's quite tall. Not as tall as you, obviously. More sort of Kral size, and I'll point at Kral. But not with a shell. More furry looking.
Right, no, don't know really.
That's fine. But apart from that,
I
yes,
think I can help you with that.
that's okay. Not a problem.
Mazdak, as you are
Whittering on
sat,
pointlessly, yes.
sat around, you
That's a special skill.
feel your book, your very special book that you're rather fond of, it gets cold.
Oh, interesting. I will open my robes and take my book out and flick it open.
As you flick to the page that the back page where you normally get messages, as that page appears, you see some writing appear. It is not in the normal, like it's more like it's been what's the word? It's big person joined up writing.
Script.
Cursive.
Cursive.
It's nice flowing elven message.
Okay.
Calligraphy.
It's more calligraphic, yeah.
Are you messaging me the message?
I will be, yes. I did check. You do speak Elven, don't you?
I do, yes. I speak, read, and write many languages, so I can be
What a
annoying to
surprise.
everyone.
So the rest of you kind of notice that Mazdak trails off from this conversation as he gets caught up in what his
I'll
book's
give-
doing.
I'll give our giant friend a nod, and then I'm gonna take a seat and just meditate for a bit, see if I can get kind of attune myself back in line with Nagale. See if being out of that lower swamp is helping.
Okay, so you take yourself off and have a little think about things. Make a religion or nature, but I think they're both the same for you.
0 or 0.
Yeah. Make it an advantage because you're kind of in a more calming environment now. The sort of immediate danger seems to have passed.
17.
Okay. Yeah, you feel that nice warm connection with your deity again. That lower swamp was just cutting you off, and that wasn't good. But you are comforted again, knowing that that connection has been re-established. You're back up to 5G now, rather than.
Furious typing.
Yeah.
Hang on. This might take a sec.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Right. So, interestingly, I'll sort of snap the book shut. You said there was a village not far from here, a settlement of types, of hill giants.
Yeah, it's a sort of encampment. They there are groups of them that just sort of roam around and they just get into scraps and things,
Right,
and that's
right.
what these guys are like. So it's not a permanent like town or anything. It's
Are they-
just
Do they take captives?
sometimes, yeah.
Did you happen to
they have
notice
been
if they
notes.
had any captives?
Oh, I didn't get very close to them.
Ah, right. I see. Okay, that's interesting. So, just for the rest of you, Several has been in touch. There is somebody, a disciple of Tersith, has been enslaved and near this location. So, we've been asked to free the disciple. I'm not sure where we would find, but the hill giants would seem the most obvious place to look.
I mean, it's on the way, sure.
Which god is Tarsith again?
Oh, that would be the god of knowledge, magic, wizards, as insomuch as wizards have a god. Really, we don't. Really, it's more a sort of a knowledge is the
Tersith
main type of
doesn't
thing.
really have clerics in the traditional sense.
No,
I see.
it's more of an arrangement rather than a worship thing. Knowledge is traded, etc. But Tersith does have disciples, and apparently one of them is been enslaved somewhere near here.
That was a pretty accurate account of things, but just to also add to that, you don't know of anyone who sort of followed or been a disciple of Tursith. This is very peculiar to someone to have been named a disciple of Tursith.
I
They are
don't,
very just sort of there as like the balance and the overviewer and things, completely neutral in everything.
So people would tend to pay homage but not worship
well,
in
yeah,
the traditional
not,
sense.
don't really do a worship of Tursith. It's more of a we acknowledge Tursith is there. Disciples are. Well, I don't think I've ever come across any recordings of a disciple of Tursith.
They tend to be rare, and they tend to be tasked with the. I thought they were tasked with the caretaking of the various shrines, but
Well-
it took a very singular individual to become a disciple.
Well, I think.
Yeah, the closest to a disciple of Tursith you'd have come to, Mazdak, is basically the librarians
Yeah.
in the Great Library.
So,
But even there, there's no like religious ceremonies or anything.
so it sounds like there's a librarian in trouble, and obviously, we will have to drop everything and go and rescue them.
If this is as rare as you say, then perhaps it is important we focus on
I
it.
think it is very important.
Well, we already have a mission.
And
So-
now we have more missions. Look at us collecting
Yes, so if
missions.
it's on the way, we can complete it.
Exactly.
Well, how about Salvio? You stop trying to tell us where to go and lead, and you just follow for a bit, and we'll do what we need to do.
I'm not telling you where to go. Leo Sol is telling you where to go. I'm just translating.
Right. You see,
That's-
see, this is why wizards have a relationship with Tursith. So we don't get told what to do. We are in an exchange
Except
of information.
just now when you got told what to do.
No,
by
I'm
your
being
book.
asked to go and do something.
Oh, well, then you say, sorry, we're already doing something. Easy.
Emerald,
No.
where would we find these hill giants?
Right, well, if you go straight north from here, a little bit to the left, you'll be able to find them nice and easy.
Perfect.
I mean, they're
Thank
hill
you so
There you
giants.
much.
go, on the way to the mountain. Easy.
Right.
Yes.
They very much sort of cut down the mushrooms when they need to make somewhere to stay for the night. So they just chop them all down, and you'll be able to see a bit of a clearing, nice and easy.
Right. Excellent. Thank you so much. You are very helpful.
That's quite all right. It's always nice to meet some people when you're on the road.
Yes. Yes, it is. Always.
Right,
So, I suppose we better be off then, hadn't we?
Just my thoughts, but if you were going to try and get in, you might want to do it at night time. It's up to you, but
Yes. So how
You
far?
know,
How far
right.
north? How long would it
Oh,
take?
me- maybe an hour or so. With your little legs, maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
Right.
I sort of look up at the sky, and it's. So you said it was sort of mid to late afternoon.
Yeah, you'd probably, by that estimate, maybe like 6, you would be getting there.
Right.
Well, if we get to where we need to be, find the area, camp, have a rest, and then by the time we've finished our rest, then we could maybe in the middle of the night.
Indeed,
We
and we
can
could send Amarius in, and he can fly over and do a sort of reconnaissance.
Doesn't really sound like my forte, but thank you for considering me.
Right. Is anything your forte?
But yes, many things.
Marvellous. I'm sure one day we'll find out what it is.
One day.
Or
I
not.
think it's just to run and hide.
That is
I don't
definitely
run.
one of the things that he does, is hiding.
I don't run, I fly.
Power. Be a cretin.
Right.
Is this a sentence, or are you just saying random words?
Can we not do this in front of new company, please?
Oh,
I
certainly.
apologise, and I'll do like a big overdone bow.
Well, Mr. Emrog, you have been most helpful, and we wish you all the best in lugging your large burden where it needs to go.
It has been my pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
And if I might say, I think you guys could do with communicating a bit better.
I think you're probably right.
You are very correct.
Clearly, this has been quite a tough couple of days for you, and it's all getting to you, but you've got each other's backs, and just remember to take care of each other. All right? Well, it was my pleasure. And he just sort of stands up, lugs this boulder up onto his back with a bit of a hunch. See ya. See ya. Trots off.
A very wise mind.
Indeed. What a rather lovely
I
gentleman.
liked him.
Yeah, about sort of 10 minutes later, Kessel just come flying back because he'd forgotten.
Oh.
He was having fun riding on top of the giant, and you just see him sort of fly down in front of Emrog, and then fly back.
Right. Okay, so North Hill Giants.
You can call a short rest there for anyone that needs it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Would our extra HP be gone now?
Yeah, we'll call that done now.
Okay.
Make them to 52.
Back to 16. Awesome.
So once you've rested, you just carry on heading north until you basically get to point. You've been traveling for a couple of hours, and you kind of just come to an edge of the mushroom line, a very clearly defined stopping point, and then it starts again 20 foot the other way, and there's clearly a path just going from right to left of where these mushrooms have just been torn out the ground and thrown aside.
I think we might have found our trail.
Mazdak, is there anything we should know of the hill giants that you have learned?
Well, hill giants are traditionally, well, they tend to be the sort of lower class of giants. The other giants sort of tend to make them do all the menial work, the tasks that nobody else wants to do. So they tend to get a little resentful, and the further inland a settlement tends to be less accommodating to strangers. So it sounds like, from what our friend was saying, that these ones are particularly unpleasant, and if they're enslaving outsiders, that means that we can expect them to be rather dangerous. So that's kind of it, really. They're not going to be reasoned with, probably. It may well be just a case of sneak in, find this disciple, and free him, sneak out, free him, her, them, whatever. So to get them out of there.
I'm going to look down at myself, look over at Salvio, look over at Kral.
We are not exactly the most quiet of groups.
I'm sure I could find a distraction for you.
Well, I'm sure Amarius can as well, but I can make myself invisible. So, if it were required, we could sneak somebody in invisibly? I can also fly again.
Oh, it's come back, has it?
Hmm.
Well, we need to take a rest anyway. Going in the night, and then
Okay.
we can have a think about what we want to do while we're taking our rest.
So we're going to
Excuse
set
me,
up camp,
just
are we?
change spells.
And just...
Okay. So you basically setting up nighttime camp
early.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can move off later on and come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. And okay. All right. Well, as you do that, I think we'll take a break as well.
Okay. Indeed. Okay, so we'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back. We will plunge straight back into it. DM.
Okay. So you guys have set up camp in some sort of proximity to what you can see as the travelling path of the hill giants that you're going to be investigating, of course. And kind of wait for nightfall. Anything much happening among the gang?
I'm going to message you a question that I'm going to write in my book because I haven't done that for a
Okay.
while.
I'm just going to be going through weapons maintenance, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, with a nice, decent rest, nightfall comes. The plan.
The plan. Okay. So, I was busy scribing in my book. Watch as the ink just fades.
I'll have that back with you in a sec.
Okay. So, the plan is to invisible in or not? What do we think?
How do we even know that the person we're looking for is in this camp?
Well, that's why I'm saying we should stealth in to have a look around to see if there is someone there.
Didn't we already cover the part where this is not a stealthy party?
We can
Yes.
try.
But invisibility lends a huge amount to stealth, does it not?
Not the audible aspect.
Yes, but if you're flying, you don't tend to make a lot of noise.
Oh, so you're going in. It's just you going in. Now I got you. Okay, yeah, no, go ahead.
I mean, I can make you invisible if you wish to go in.
Would we have rested long enough to take a long
Okay.
rest?
Don't think we slept yet, really.
No, you've not. Yeah. It's probably you probably got to where you've camped about 6, and nightfall sort of 8 to 9, and even if you leave it a little bit longer, maybe it's 10 o'clock. 4 hours
Yeah.
isn't really enough.
I think we would probably leave it till at least 10 so that everything in that camp can quieten down. Okay, so what's the plan then? Amarius?
Didn't you say you were going to go invisible and fly in?
Well, that was a plan. I'm asking for input
Oh,
from
right.
everyone because I'm told that sometimes I just rush ahead and do things and get into trouble. So now I'm trying not to get into trouble by involving everybody in the plan, but nobody seems to want to bother. So I'll just go invisible and fly in. Is that
Okay,
what we're doing?
I'm
Perhaps.
Mystic, slow down.
Well, we could get closer, see what the situation is, and then we can work out the best way to get an invisible person inside.
That is. what we
Perhaps,
should do.
first of all, maybe Kroll could send Kez to investigate to make sure that what we're looking for is even in this camp. Not
Exactly.
that I'm not get down for a good fight, but we don't even know how many giants there are.
That's true. We
Need
want
to-
to make sure
Need to know
the odds are
your
good
enemy
for it.
before you deal with them.
Well, I could. If Kez is going in, I could also. I don't know if you remember. I can call upon a spider friend to get them to go in. and on ground level. Very unlikely to be noticed by giants. A small spider.
That is good.
Well, that might work. I mean, your spider could look at things on ground level. Cass could get the overall view.
That seems like a very good plan.
Because by all means, I'm most prepared to go charging into an unknown fight with unknown quantities of giants, but sometimes we do need to be a little bit more
Well-
thoughtful.
You would be very dead in about as many seconds as it took you to run through their door, but sure.
Let us see how many there are first.
Okay, so let's get to the edge of there where we think we'll be safe from them hearing us, and then send in the familiar. So I'll take 10 minutes and find familiar, do my spell. Normally takes an hour and 10 minutes, but because of my beautiful book, I can do it in 10 minutes.
Cool. And that's familiar, so it just lasts until it isn't
gets killed.
there.
Yeah. Or I think I can dismiss it, but
Yeah.
You can poof it out and poof
Yeah.
it back again. It's as long as you've summoned it.
yeah.
Okay. So
Let's do that.
you will make your plan, leave the camp where it is, follow along this trail to the west. It's a fairly straight line, so you can almost see the camp light or the campfire light in the distance. It's maybe 20 minutes before you think it's probably time to stop before you start having to make stealth checks.
Okay, so having this spider, it's a tiny creature. It's looks a little bit like a little black widow spider. It's very tiny, and yeah, I will wait until Kral is ready with Kez, and send in the spider, because the spider's going to be slower than Kez, so I'll just send him in. How far away from the camp are we?
A fairly well. How far do you want to be, really?
Well, I mean, I can communicate with this spider and see through it up to 100 feet away.
Okay.
So I kind of want to be within 100 feet of the spider. How big is the camp?
Well, let me show you.
Oh no!
If you're not in Roll20,
I was, but I had to do stuff, so I
You
wasn't.
should be.
I am now.
Another Tron map.
yeah.
What
I
do
don't-
you use to make these maps? Because they seem like they're 3D models.
Yeah. I'm using Dungeon Alchemist.
Ah.
It's
clever.
it's a Steam app.
Yeah.
You can export it directly, or like the full 3D-ness of it into various things. Well, 20, you need like the proper premium 20 quid a month.
Is that the Kickstarter thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I backed it on Kickstarter. It was,
Yeah, so did I.
It's good.
yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
which direction did we approach in from where we are there?
Yes. From that path
Okay.
through to the camp is where all the mushrooms have been knocked down that you've come from. So, first up, just by having a little scout from initial viewing of Spider and Kez, there's very obviously two giants stood around the campfire in the middle. Well, it's more of a bonfire by your scale, but
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I would like to do is, us haven't got a spider token, but I shall send the spider in and sort of put my hand on Bernia and have the spider just wander round the camp.
As he's going in, I'm just going to quickly put my hands on the shoulders of Salviel and Sasha and say,
We should be ready in case things go wrong.
and I'm going to cast Aid. So, targeting myself, Sasha, and Salviel, our hit point maximum increases by 5 for 8 hours, and our health increases by 5 as well.
cool.
If anyone looks at me, I'm just thumbing the ring nervously.
You don't have the ring.
Oh, fuck. Who's got my ring? I whisper. Anybody?
Let's do that.
I left it with one of you.
There you are. Right, Mazdak, you've got a little spider
Oh,
next to
cool.
you that is controllable by you.
Yeah.
Appreciate the contrast of it. Doesn't show it up very well on
Yeah.
the map, but
Basically, I'm going to send it in sort of to here and just sort of looking through its eyes to see what I can see.
okay.
We want to stream it.
Oh yeah, if someone wants to stream, so the stream can see.
Yes, because we can't let Fiddy down. Fiddy needs to see.
Okay.
There we go.
So you see these 6 tents around the campfire, plus one large one. You can see directly in the large one. It seems to be some sort of storage. There are sacks and things in there.
So
No bodies renting.
yeah, so Kez would do exactly what I told him to do, and he would sort of perch on one of the larger mushrooms, sort of up here.
I'll have to get you a little Kez token.
Yeah, fine. And just sort of, he'd have one of the half-size books that people have seen him with. And my instructions to him would have been to sketch out a camp plan with and try and roughly estimate the amount of hill giants in the camp.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the spider is there. You can see from ground level what's going on, and I can see through the spider's eyes. So if you need me to make a perception check.
Okay. So yeah, let's have both Kez and Spider make perception checks.
Now, do I do that through mine or his?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
Well, he has dark vision, so he's cool.
Natural 20 for 25.
Okay.
Wisdom. Okay. So let's just a wisdom check for. Oh, 19.
Okay. So, Kez, was Kez just looking out from that vantage point or flying around?
So he would have moved from to multiple different vantages around the sort of perimeter of the camp, just trying to see what he could see.
Okay. And Spidey
Spidey is currently
was
here.
the spot. Yeah.
Food and
Are you going to have that run into different tents, or
Yeah,
just
literally,
have down?
it's just going to go around to each tent and just take a little peek inside. But before it gets to the first one, it's just going to check that there's nobody, that there's only these two hill giants.
Okay. So between the pair of you, well, actually, let's just. Gina.
Okay.
Roger Dodger.
So yes, you can see that there's a total of 6 hill giants.
Okay. So, hand still on Bernier's arm. I would just say, 6 giants, and another person in a tent or near a tent opposite from us.
It's good to know who's got my ring.
I can't hear you. I'm completely deaf and blind. I can't see or hear anything at the minute. Squeeze my hand, Bernie, if you understood that.
Squeeze.
So yeah, I'm just going to have Spidey just like check all of the tents and see if there's any other. Are these giants asleep, or some of them are awake, or?
So.
I take it the ones in the tents are asleep, yes?
If not actually asleep, trying to get to sleep.
Okay, cool.
They seem to have set up some sort of watch, with 2 of them keeping guard at a time.
How strange.
Oh, who would think that?
Send in the tiny bears.
Okay. Spidey's going to go all the way over to this tent, to this one here. I'll keep pinging him because he's very difficult to see on this background, but I want to see how big is this person.
Looks human to you, normal human size.
So, human size, is he in chains? Is he tied up?
Yeah. So there's basically a center beam in the tent that's sort of propping everything up. He has rope, and the 2 arms are wrapped around this center beam,
Okay.
tied to that.
Okay. Right. So I will relay that to Bernia. So it looks like we have found our captive.
I'll look to Crawl and say, they're a tent along on the right-hand side. Is where the prisoner is.
I would need him to come back, give him the instruction, and send him out again.
Okay.
So once Kez had finished his sort of drawing, he would be instructed to come back to me, however long that takes.
Yeah, well, you're not too far outside of the camp, so not long.
While this is going on, I just want to just look around at my friends and just see if I can see any sign of the ring. Obviously,
Friends, are they?
for the moment.
Make a perception check.
Friends until, he finds the ring again.
Actually, I can disappear into it without having just looked, but I kind of need to know where it is. 17.
Okay. You can. Well, you'd have probably put it in your storage.
So it's essentially in a bag of holding right now.
Okay, so I won't say it then.
So you won't see it, yeah.
Cat on string.
Okay.
Ooh.
probably heard about the spider. Come to kill it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's food
A
up.
little interest in spiders.
Ah, okay. Right. I'm going to ask Spidey to come back to me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to sort of open my eyes. Was this person awake?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a look. See. Oh, not quite.
And just to point this out, Dan, you have to be touching the vessel to disappear into it. You can't just disappear into it.
So, what's the plan? We should
Well,
go round the back, perhaps?
that would make the most sense. The tents open either side. Or are they
Are they
backed?
open-ended, or are they?
As the spider, you can see the front just flaps. It was a solid back, but you don't know whether you could get through that easily or not.
So, I'll relay that. So, we might have to, wait, hang on. I could make them invisible.
But you said they're tied up.
Yes. I'm just trying to think if things will help.
We'd still have to go in and somebody would have to untie them. Or cut
Yes.
the bindings.
Not necessarily. So when Kez comes back, I'd sort of he'd lay his book out in front of me, and we'd have essentially the plan of the camp in front of us.
Quite talented, your Kez.
Well, he'd be pretty useless as an assistant if he didn't know what he was doing. But Mistake, would you agree that they're not patrolling the camp? They're just
Well, they
staying
don't
around
appear
the
to
fire?
be. They're fairly static, the two that are on watch.
And do you think we could get the person out through the back of that tent and into the
I'm
mushrooms?
not sure. I think if somebody strong may be able to cut the back of the tent out, yes, possibly. But I would imagine it's fairly thick material, it being, giant equipment. But saying that, it may be possible to go underneath the back of the tent.
That's what I'm thinking, because maybe Kaz could get inside there through the back, and then if we could escort the individual out through the back of the tent into the
Yes.
mushrooms.
But if I can get within 120 feet, I can send them a message to say that we've come to help, and that there will be a small Kez entry.
Well, if we've got within 100 feet for you to
Well, no, I was in 100 feet,
Yeah.
and I can relay messages to the spider. I can communicate with it.
Mhm.
But I just sent him to do a circuit of the camp to go and look in each tent.
Roger Dodger.
So I'm not sure if. Let's have a look. How far away am I from? I'm 150 feet away from that person. But if we're going round the back, that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah.
We take our time, make slow progress through the mushrooms. Hopefully we won't make too much noise, and we can get somewhere a little bit more safe where we're not being seen.
Yeah.
Well, I had an idea. I stay over this way, I can use some tricks and whatnot to cause a diversion if things go wrong.
Right.
You're sure, Kral?
So, I guess we're going round the mushrooms.
I still think it would be better for some of us to remain here.
I volunteer to remain here.
You have more chance of not being seen. Amarius, it would likely be safer for you to go with them. Than to remain
Without my
here.
ring, I'm not as powerful as I usually am. I seem to have misplaced it at the moment.
You mean without your ring you can't run and hide?
No, it is a source of power for me. Mazdak has his boring books. I have a very flashy, sexy ring.
I have a sword.
I will stay here for the moment. Thank you.
Okay.
Raoul will literally just reach behind his neck and he'll sort of hold. You mean this one?
Yes, thank you. I'll try and take it.
And he just puts it back.
Okay, so who's coming with me round the
I'll come with you.
Okay.
I'm not encumbered by armor as the others are.
Okay.
Here, let me do this again as well.
And you know what? Screw it. I'll use 2 of my smite slots.
What?
I'll cast Aid again. This time targeting Kral, Amarius, and Mazdak. So 5 HP max increased by 5.
You've doubled Mazdak's hit points.
Something like that.
By 5?
So you've cast that twice, so everyone's got 8 now.
Everyone's got Aid, which is...
What else does that do apart
It's
from
8,
temporary
8.
hit points?
It's not temporary hit points, it's your hit point maximum.
Sorry, what else does it do, if anything?
It just does that, and
Okay.
it puts your health up to that amount as well.
Okay. Right, well, Sasha and I will start making our way round the mushrooms.
Making our way around town.
Yeah. I assume you want stealth checks for this.
I would, yes, please.
Let's roll these.
So anyone that's moving, make a stealth check.
I'm not very good at this.
17.
14. Not terrible.
Okay. All right. Basically want to get to sort of round here.
I would have sent Kez with them, with the instructions to sort of do what he was told or do what he agreed within reason.
Okay, right. Let me just.
Okay, so
Oh,
presumably that answer came back a while back. So and I just missed it, sorry. So I'm just gonna, once I get round there, I'm going to whisper into my piece of copper wire saying, Mr. Morbane, if you can hear me, my name is Mazdak. We're coming to try to free you. If you could respond to this message, that would be fantastic.
1 sec. I'll have an answer with you shortly.
Kez just looks like a mini you, doesn't he? Yeah.
we'll have an answer with you shortly.
Okay. So as
Please
part of
hold
that
duty.
message, there will be a small turtle coming in very shortly.
Ah.
There it is.
I see. Right.
Clever. Oh boy, not more wizards.
Yeah.
I-
but-
Thought he'd come in by accident for a second.
I saw him come in and I thought, oh fuck.
I've
Come
been
here.
waiting there for so long to change my name so you didn't realise in the game chat. But yes, you will
Well
hear.
played.
You will hear. Okay, thank you. Hopefully see you in a bit.
I'll just look to Sasha. I just thumbs up.
I'm going to try and see what I can see about the back of the tent, whether it's, well, if need be, whether I can get underneath the flap at the back or if I'd need to cut my way through.
I'm just going to look to Kez and just sort of motioning
Yeah,
in.
and you just see him scamper forward, and then sort of like go to under the edge of the flap, and sort of just do that little scrabble, and pop under the flap.
Right. Yeah. Do I have to exit the game? Did it? Sorry, I just realised that Vinny isn't in the Roll20 game, so I'll need
It's
to.
a campaign.
I've been following like so much that I've completely forgot to go. Actually, I do need a Roll20 link, but then I can't enter that too early, so it's kind of like.
There you go. You've got a link.
Nice.
Okay, so sorry, just remind me where we were.
So-
Sasha, you were just checking out the back of the tent.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
Is that
moved
right?
Kez forward, and he's trying to get underneath the back of the tent.
Okay.
Because Kez can get in and out probably a lot easier because he's small, but I'm assuming this humanoid figure is not going to be quite as dainty.
Yeah. It is sealed at the bottom. So it is just a solid sheet. It's made up of sort of a patchwork of animal hides. So
Is there
probably
stitch
yes,
lines?
it's quite thick. Sorry, second.
Is there like stitch lines?
Pretty well stitched ones, yeah.
I'm going to sneak closer to the back of the tent and try and start either cutting the stitch line so I can try and unthread it and make a flap, or if I need to, start trying to cut my way through.
Okay. Make an embroidery check.
Wouldn't it be an anti-embroidery?
Yes.
That strikes me as something that Sasha's very much into, anti-embroidery.
Yeah. Make a sleight of hand check because this is quite delicate work.
Can Kez help?
15.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, Kez, well, this is really a one-person.
I've got
job.
hand axes to do it, so it's a little bit less, huge blade trying to cut dainty little things.
Yeah. Okay. Just make another stealth check for me while you're doing that.
7.
Aha.
24.
Okay.
No, not 24, 22.
Okay. So yeah, the pair of you starting at different points on that sort of long seam start to sort of just tear it so you can start unthreading it. But as you're doing that, you're making a bit more noise than you thought. And wait, I'm on the wrong layer. That's right. And you hear a bit of grunting and whatnot. And you can hear a bit of movement in the camp.
Freeze.
And is Kez gonna?
Oh yeah, he would stop and then sort of fly up to the top and just be like,
you don't see it, but Thaddeus, you see like the tent canvas, whatever, gets ripped to the side as this big ugly face comes in.
Ah, more food or just another beating?
Yeah. Another beating if you're lucky.
Oh, fingers crossed.
And he just throws it back and wanders back. Mazdak, what were you doing round the back there? Were you doing anything?
No, I'm just waiting to see if they get this tent open and whether I need to send Spidey in to turn Thaddeus invisible or not.
Okay. The other four back over at the entrance to the camp. What are you guys up to?
Watching the giants from afar, watching what they're doing, and
Waiting
then
for all hell to break loose.
yeah, pretty much.
yeah. So I would have spread a little bit sort of to the south, ready to create a ruckus and start setting things on fire.
Okay.
Because I currently have the cannon's been active for a while, and unless it's destroyed, I don't need to resummon it.
Okay. So Sasha and Kez, you kind of pause. You hear the giant say something, and Thaddeus respond inside the tent, and you wait for the noise to die back down. You think it's safe to carry on.
Is there while she's carrying on doing this, is there a big enough gap now for Kez to slip through?
You've probably got a big enough gap for Kez to get through, but not yet for a humanoid.
So he's going to slip through into the tent, sort of land, and then just sort of like scamper over to the guy. What Thaddeus would see is this little sort of tiny turtle with like all made of metal. Just come scampering over, and he basically just go, and then tip his hat to him, and then you just see him pull out like a Thor, and just start going to work on the rope.
What Kez would have seen that is this tied up human figure 100% absolutely arch his foot backwards as if he was going to kick it, and as soon as the cap came off and the saw came out, he'd be like, thank you.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me again while you're...
That's not too bad. So plus 5, 18.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Spidey in.
Happy DM noises there. So,
I'm going to send a spider in. It's just going to sort of sit just behind Thaddeus with a rabbit in.
thank you.
Just behind Thaddeus with a foreleg just ready to touch. And I'm just going to go blind and deaf, so Mazdak can't see anything. but he's seeing through the spider, just waiting to see if any ogres come in, just in case.
Okay. So Kez soaring away at the binds that keep Thaddeus attached to the pole. And then the
Carrying
rope
on
snaps.
picking.
And you're going to carry on picking. Right, can you also make another stealth check then? And this will...
Oh, it's not going to go horribly wrong.
Just to clarify
It'll be
this,
fine.
is it like just my arms are tied behind, or is my arms and legs?
I kind of picture it like the pole sort of, you're there with legs either side of the center pole and your arms are tied around it. So
Okay.
your legs aren't tied, but you're kind of sat there and you can lean on the pole.
Yeah.
12.
So for what it's worth, then I will try and use legs to hide this mechanical bird in front of me.
Turtle.
Turtle then. And I will try and make it, if there is too much ruckus, as if I'm looking just very drawn and beaten, like on the post.
Okay,
I rolled a 12.
right you are. Okay, so the binds are broken around your arms, Thaddeus.
I instinctively keep them there for a few seconds, keeping an eye out at the front of the tent.
Okay. You wait there for a second, and then you can hear footsteps again.
Okay. I will keep my hands as if I am still tied, but get up. So I'm now stood rather than sat, sort of like around the pole.
Is there anything else in, like, is there any sort of like tables or anything, any other items inside this tent?
This is completely bare, other than the humanoid.
Roger, Roger.
Oh, if I hear footsteps again, I'm going to stop.
Okay. The curtain gets ripped open again.
As soon as it does, the spider goes boink, and I cast invisibility on Thaddeus.
I'm assuming that I would see with my hands around the front of the pole.
Yeah.
Like, I would see myself go invisible, right?
Yeah.
100% then my hands become free as soon as it happens.
The spider will scurry back out to me, and I will stop seeing through its vision.
Okay. As far as I'm aware, Kez is the only thing visible in the room now.
Yeah.
Well, he's behind the pole, sort of like if that covers him, it covers him. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I didn't think about how wide this pole would be. How big's Kez?
He's about a foot tall,
Yeah.
and he's probably 7 inches across.
Is it a mushroom stalk?
No, it's a wooden
Yeah,
tent pole, isn't it?
probably, yeah.
Oh.
So, as the curtain gets pulled open and the giant looks in and sees nothing, he's like, what the? And he comes storming in up to the back. You can see that there's picks pulled out of the seam at the back, enough of a big gap. Turns, sees Kez.
He's already sort of hovering, and he just
As I just to take a minute, as I am invisible
Yeah.
and no longer like pretending to be attached to the pole, what is in this tent? What can I see that may aid me in this escape?
This tent is basically empty. You've got some stuff with you, but it's not in this tent.
Yeah.
You think you know where it's being kept.
Yeah.
You know, because the giants have shackled you up and are making use of your talents as a male gigolo. No.
So
But
as
they
those,
only bring you what you need for that when they need you to
when
do
they
it.
need, yeah, no, completely. So in that case, then Thaddeus's first thought would have been to rescue this really weird thing in front of him. What obviously, but now it's floating or flying. He's going to try and, with the giant at the back of the tent, is going to try and, because he thinks he knows where it is, as quickly and quietly as he can, get to where he thinks his gear is stored.
Okay. Make a make a stealth check at advantage, obviously, because you're invisible.
So, typically, I roll at disadvantage, but I'm wearing nothing of what I do to make that, so I just roll with advantage, yeah?
With advantage, yeah.
Let's get in there with a natural 19 and a natural 20 on my first roll.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
Stealth priest.
Fiddy's the opposite of. So turns out if Fiddy plays a rogue, he cannot stealth for shit. If he plays a cleric, he's very good at it.
So that would actually be a 22, just for the total figure.
Okay.
Nice.
So almost in the one movement before the curtain falls back into natural place, you just slip out and you're gone. The giant does start calling, "Get here, he's gone!" And you start to hear more movement. The other giant on watch begins to move over. You start to hear some noise in the other tents as well.
Yeah, so as long as none of them, because as soon as I get outside the tent, where I think my gear is, I will just take a brief moment just to turn around, and as long as none of them are looking in that direction, I'll try and just slip in, almost make it as if look like the flap of the curtain is just like a breeze in the wind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll call that as part of your natural 20 stealth check. So, not a problem. You're in. You're in. The others are over on the eastern side of the camp. You've heard this giant start bellowing.
Okay.
He's gone.
Okay, so there's a 120-foot range on the Eldritch Cannon, and this is what I was waiting for. So I'm gonna fire out because it does force damage, and it's gonna make quite a bit of noise when it lands. And you'll just see sort of Kral just basically just crouch and hunch slightly, and you'll just see the cannon go off.
Okay, which direction were you aiming that?
Sort of south, sort of southwest across the way from where I've moved past the opening.
Down in that bottom left corner.
So it would have been sort of down here.
Okay, southeast then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to put my hand on my sword, just ready, watching them.
Okay. Sasha, what were you doing at this point? Because you've heard this bellowing.
I'm just staying where I am, crouched down by the back of the tent.
Okay. And Kez?
Sort of after the giant had come round, because he'd have been sidling round the pole as he came round, and you'd have seen him anyway, because he'd have been sort of just, he'd have gone, and then zipped.
Okay. Out the front or out the back?
Out the front.
At the front. Okay.
Yeah, he's going out the front and then up.
Right. So the other giant on watch, he's sort of getting to the front and has a panicked swing at whatever's just come flying out.
Oh.
If I can find that. Does an 18 hit Kez?
Oh god, yeah. 100%.
Okay. Oh my word.
Let's put it this way, if it's done more than 11 damage.
Yeah, it has. So Kez just comes out and this thing just goes with this huge club. As it flies out. It does amazingly. I never roll this well for damage. 20 points of damage.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
So presumably Kez just kind of falls to bits on the floor.
Well, he's pretty solidly built, so he'd probably just stop moving. Because it's dislodged the gem at his core.
Ah, okay. So I wish I had a thing for that. And at this point, others start stirring and moving out. But there's then a big movement to head in this direction because that's where a noise was. There was this large bang that went off over in that direction. Is this, oh, what's going on? Sort of noises coming from these
Okay.
previously sleeping giants. Mazdak.
I want to cast the old favourite, Grease. And I will cast it there.
Okay.
So just at the front of the entrance to this tent. So I'm hoping Thaddeus has got clear, but I don't know for sure because I can't see him. He's invisible. So
Yeah.
it is a 10-foot square.
Okay. So
Centred
is
on that point just there. That'll do. Lovely. So anything coming in or out of that tent is going to have to make a dex save.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically after bonking Kez, that giant I don't think they're going to be very dexterous. What's the DC on that?
The DC is 15 dex.
Roll a 15, -1.
Bro,
We're back to the good old days, guys.
Reese? My word.
no,
feel
Grease is
nostalgic.
the word.
I'm assuming by this point
Grease, lightning.
I could have picked up my.
Mazdak should learn lightning bolt.
You're certainly it slipped inside. There's a lot of stuff piled around here. So make a quick investigation check for me as you look for your specific pack.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It is there.
18.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It's pretty clearly seen. Just propped up on the side next to a sack of whatever.
Okay, yeah. So
Mushrooms?
I'll adorn it, and I will kind of look as well, never having been invisible before. Does it turn the stuff I put on invisible?
Yep.
So I'll kind of like
on your person, it's invisible.
Yeah. No one will hear this, but he'll have a little bit of a laugh to himself, and I kind of step outside the front of the tent just to see what's going on.
Okay. There's you get out. Actually, I can give you control of your character now.
Approximately where would Kez have landed if he'd just been swatted?
Yeah. So let's pop something down. Something in. He's. That'll do. He'll be like there,
Okay, cool.
just inside the grease.
Okay, so I take all of that in, and all of these hill giants, which have been horribly terrifically bad to me as a captive, and basically anyone who could hear it would just basically, with all this chaos going on, a little bit of a giggle and a voice which basically rings out to, "Hell hath no fury like a cleric scorned," and then I cast right in the middle.
As soon as you do, you come.
So
become
right there.
visible.
Yeah, I know, but I cast Spirit Guardians. Not Spirit Guardians, sorry. Spiritual weapon right in the middle of them.
Okay.
So right in the middle, they'll just see this spectral floating, just nothingness, but it's there.
Actual floating nothingness.
Yep.
What do I type in to search for an icon for that?
I'll find one, don't worry. But
Yeah.
I can't be a neutral cleric and have something there. It's just nothingness.
Brew.
Yeah. As soon as you cast a spell, you're now visible.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
How does one play
Oh,
magic
fucking idiot.
cleric?
Sorry, no, hang on. It's not spiritual weapon, dickhead. I'm reading the wrong spell. Guardian of Faith.
Oh wow.
Sorry.
Guardian
Number
of
3, we got there.
I got there, sorry. It's been a while since a cleric, guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, you've got
Oh,
no,
wow.
no
You're
real
not
experience
spy.
with clerics, have you?
But yes.
Okay.
So basically, a large spectral guardian appears, of nothingness, no particular colour or anything, and hovers for the duration in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. The guardian occupies that space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of my deity. So any creature hostile to you that moves to space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dex saving throw. The creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Okay. Did you say it was large?
Yes. They're basically right in the middle of them.
Like there? I've just put something
Yep,
in.
that's absolutely fine.
It's a big U, apparently.
Mm.
Awesome.
Okay.
Massive captain, fantastic.
Not this time.
Is there anything that happens when you summon it?
No, it just says a creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of it. It takes damage, respectively, either on a save or not. And obviously the Guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage. So
Okay.
I'm assuming if they're moving to the south, then this thing just appears and they walk past it. They are moving within a space of 10 feet of it.
Yes. Yes. Certainly those two there. I'll just split the damage between those two.
So they have to, yeah, they dex saving throw.
Oh, 14 and an 8.
Both fail, so both take 20 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Let's just do that. Just did that, right. But they don't really know it's there. It's just sort of.
Yeah, basically all they don't really see much apart from like this gleaming sword and shield, according to the description.
Okay. So they're also very confused and slowed down a little bit as they're going around. These just continue going off. This guy comes out to look at
Dex save.
whatever noise just happened, and he gets an 8 and also falls
Throw.
over. He falls as well.
Love Grease. It's a brilliant spell.
As that second one falls, he sort of falls in a way that he can see you, Thaddeus, just
Yep.
standing there. He goes, "Who is there?"
And Daddy will just be like, yeah, back to him as well.
This guy's got sass.
So, what are you doing now, Thaddeus?
So if it's just down to me, obviously I'm the only one in the centre here. I'm going to go run up to this giant what's just fallen down. And I take it if I look over his belly, I can see this automaton turtle like on the ground, right?
Let me just check, because there's kind of two giants writhing on a slimy grease patch.
Well, they got hit with a club, so I imagine they would have made a little bit of distance.
But he sort of just clonked it straight down into the ground. So it might have, he didn't like baseball swing it. Okay, I'll say just do a quick perception check for me.
Yeah.
You can get all your backlog of rolls out of the way.
Let's bring a new character to a session every game, guys. 19.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see it. These two are clonked out. They're sort of just starting to struggle to get to their feet.
Yep. So basically, I go to stand like on the leg of like this, or just here, like the corner of the tent of the hill giant, and I kind of look down at this turtle, and I'd be like, oh. He did kind of save me. So I'll pick him up, put him in my bag, and then just as the giant's down there, go, this is for what you fucking did to me as well. And basically puts a mace hit into him as well, but right on his nuts.
Out.
Ah, Dylan special.
Okay, make you attack at advantage because prone.
So that is 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Who are you? What have you done with Philly?
Yeah, exactly. And that's max damage as well. So that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then Thaddeus Sabila's like, and let that be a reminder to you as well, young boy. And then we'll just start walking away, as in like off to here.
Okay. He's going to have a swing at you as you're walking away, or just like kick a leg or something at you. Actually, you don't have your armor on at the moment, so you're...
Oh, well, that's why I was asking if I had time to get my stuff, because I would have put everything on whilst the distractions were going on.
If you're wearing like plate or chain, that's like a 10-minute thing, like from the book.
No, that's cool. I will take that off. Hang on, I'll take the
if you're
scale mail
putting
off.
a cloak of protection on, I'd say it's not a problem. But
No, that's fine. I'll take my scale mail off. That's fine.
yeah. Okay, so what does that put your AC at?
14.
And I rolled a 7. You're giant.
At disadvantage because you're on the ground.
You're right, it should be disadvantage. And then I rolled a 5 plus 8, 13.
What did you roll before?
7. So it was,
Oh wow.
It would have been 15.
Yeah.
It would have hit you.
15 before.
Johnny
Or the
bastard.
roller coaster. So yeah, you say, let that be a lesson to you, young boy. And he sort of goes, "Whoa," and tries to like just kick at your legs to try and sweep you off your feet, not romantically, as you just leave. But you're at this point just action hero walking away from an explosion.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
don't
much.
look back. He just misses, slips, and kicks his friend in the head because he's just spinning on grease.
Yeah,
And-
and I'm just I have no idea where I'm going. But yeah, I'm just walking in sort of like, hang on, let me get the old
Sasha, you will have seen
That
this
direction.
just peering around the side of the tent.
Sasha is oddly impressed with this slightly peculiar, strange man.
Yep. Unless you say anything, he hasn't looked. He's just like literally just walking away and just going in that direction, just get away from the camp.
I will message. Thaddeus, turn to your right. It's me, Mazdak. You should see Sasha behind the tent. Come this way.
Righto. Yes, will do. And I'll start making it towards that way.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm happy for you guys that these guys are all being led away in the wrong direction, thanks to Kral. There were two on the floor who are gonna struggle to get up, but he's gonna sort of, once he's up, move away in the direction. But because Thaddeus kind of got to the mushroom line and then turned to his right, he's gonna search off this way for a bit.
I think Mazdak I'd make my way over that way with my spider on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Join up
Thaddeus
with
will
the
just
rest.
turn to this new person in front and be like, "Wait, what way then? Come on."
Well,
Oh, wow.
Hello? What was that?
That sounded good.
It's all right. It's all good.
And I will skirt up north and around back the way we came.
And then presumably once you've regrouped, you'll head back along that path-ish back to the camp.
back towards our camp.
So just briefly, as you sort of get back to the camp and we can meet the new, this person you've just rescued. Do you want to give a quick description of what they see?
Yeah, so you basically see a fairly young human male, roughly about sort of like 5'10", scrawny, but not tone scrawny, not just sort of like thin scrawny. He's got short brown hair, very tan skin, and he's basically got, on first look, he looks like he's got very like beaten and like ragged clothing on of like a brown sandy color. But then when you look at it again, it's meant to be like that. Very nondescript, very doesn't want to stand out. And then just like along the hem of the items of clothing, there's like this blue like lining, and then he has kind of like this center sash which is also blue as well. So he essentially looks like he's homeless, but you know he's not, type thing, a traveler. And he's got a mace currently in one hand with like a walking stick as such, picture it as a quarterstaff, on his back. You get that this isn't because he needs it for his old age, but he's a traveller, he likes to wander, so just an aid. And you just see ever so slightly, and for you, Mazdak, seeing him through your eyes and not the spider's eyes, you'll just see this like bead of necklace which just slightly droops down just to like his chest.
Do you have any symbols of your god?
No symbols showing or anything like that. That is everything.
Okay. Cool.
Well, hello. Thank you. Who are you? And who are you?
Well, I'm Mazdak. We've spoken already. I turned you invisible, which was interesting. You're a disciple of. Sorry, I forgot the name already.
Tersith.
Tersith. This is
disciples.
incredibly unusual. normally, Tersith, god of knowledge, etc., wouldn't be a sort of disciple type thing. So I'm a bit confused.
Well, try to replace disciple with follower. Then it makes it a little bit easier to understand, I suppose, with Tersith.
Right.
This is Mazdak. He talks a lot.
Oh,
That's
marvelous.
Sasha. She doesn't.
No, but thank you for whatever you've done, Sasha. I think it was appreciated.
I think it was a team effort.
And who were you?
I'm Marius.
And what did you do in that whole team effort?
I was key in coordinating all members of the party.
So you were messaging people like Mazdak was messaging me.
Yes, if that's what
he
you
was
say.
standing here hiding, afraid of the giants.
I wouldn't say hiding.
Well, we had to split the party, you see, because some people had to stay here just in case it all went horribly wrong and they had to rush in and rescue us. Because obviously Bernia is an incredibly skilled fighter, as is Salviel, and obviously Sasha.
That and heavy armor does not contribute well to stealth.
Yeah,
This is
well
true.
said, Mazdak,
So
my friend.
we Sasha, myself, and poor Kez were the advanced scout party to the stealthier types to perform the actual rescue. But the backup team should not be dumbed down in any way, because obviously the distraction that I'm presuming that was you, Kral, made that incredible explosion.
Probably at this point, Carl would be stomping back into camp because he would have had to circle wide to avoid the giants to get back. Yeah, that was my.
Yes, that worked brilliantly.
Brilliant, yes. I mean, finally executed plan, and from both sides, stealth, yes, brilliant, on point, escaped, marvelous, thank you. And then obviously the backup team, just in case. You mentioned this Kez. I don't see them in front of me. Where are they?
That is the small homunculus.
You're
that
holding them.
Belongs to
You don't see me holding him. It's in a bag
Oh, okay.
or a satchel.
belongs to Kral.
Where is he?
I don't know.
The little turtle fellow that helped me, right?
Yes.
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 Yeah,
Just
so
here.
is
I picked him up. He helped me, so I thought I'd have to pick him up. Right here.
You're going to say, Thaddeus, you'd recognise Kez is basically just a miniature crawl.
It's. Oh, it's you. But I'll hand you to you. There you go.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Kral had come to you. As soon as he saw the state that Kez was in, he would have basically just pushed everybody else out of the way. No decorum at all. Like, literally grabbed him and gone over and sat in the corner. Just his reaction is akin to a parent for a child. And then he begins to frantically cast mending. Multiple times for the next 2.5 hours.
But it is good to see a person safe. We've heard bad things about the hill giants.
Oh no, they definitely weren't the best. Beatings, food, beatings. Sometimes not food, but just beatings. But what a fun adventure, hey?
Well,
An
depends on your
interesting
definition
one.
of fun, I suppose.
As
Well, I
Mazdak put,
met
I
new people.
am Bernia.
I must admit, Thaddeus, when you hit that one giant in particular in the crotch with your mace, inspired.
You've never thought of that before? It's good. Try it again.
Just don't normally see a lot of people who have that in them.
Well, come on. It's a big world. A lot to be travelled and a lot to find out. Knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
See.
Knowledge is key for everything.
You're going to be one of those, aren't you?
One of those?
Doesn't matter.
Imarius doesn't like me because I like to read books and learn things and teach people things, because obviously I am a wizard. So I'm from Kantisha, so I read a lot, and apparently this is to be frowned upon.
I'd
according
say I
to-
I'm
don't
not
like
Perhaps-
sure Amarius likes anybody.
Perhaps we continue this conversation in camp,
We
a
are in
fair
camp,
distance away
by
from
the
the
way.
hill giants.
We are in camp.
Oh, sorry.
You'd gone
I
back.
thought we were.
No,
Okay,
we got back to camp.
okay, cool.
Oh, well, I mean, I've been doing nothing for the past few days. I know you've just rescued me, but onwards. More to be travelled, more to be found out. Yes?
Well, we were going to take a rest here this evening, overnight, and then
Ooh,
travel
risky.
in the morning.
I like it.
I think this might be one of my favourite characters you've ever played, City.
It's a strong start.
Yeah.
Certainly is. Some epic dice rolls as well.
If I may be so inclined, Thaddeus, did you say your name was?
Yes, Sasha, is yours?
What is it that you are? What is it you do? What are your capabilities?
Well, I'm very good at getting captured, apparently. I like to travel, walk, gain knowledge. Just a simple man on a simple path. That's all. Well, you said deity that I am a disciple of, a follower, I would say. Very neutral, so I do a bit of everything, I suppose. But mainly healing. Yes, I suppose that's it.
Right, that's more what I was asking. Thank you.
Ah, right, so you said capabilities. I mean, I've got good penmanship, definitely.
We have.
But no, I think of me as a cleric as such, I suppose.
We have a few fates within this group.
Ah, yes. Yes.
I am
but-
a follower of Nagale myself.
Very strong. Well, I get that. Nobody else needs to name who they follow. Follow who you will. It's no one else's business. But yes, so if you needed healing, I suppose I could do that as well. But the odd 1 or 2 times, dish out a bit of damage, hurt people. Keep that moral compass balanced. It's fine.
Don't worry. The ladies here are all very good at dishing out pain.
You'll have to show me when the lady's here so we can get to know each other. Oh, sorry, I didn't. You're very burlish. Very, very strong.
I will point out Thaddeus is talking to three very strong, very large women with giant swords.
I just want to point out, Sasha's only 5'7". She's
It's still
not
probably
overly tall,
Yeah.
and she's not like Arnold
Ben's probably-
Schwarzenegger.
She's also
Ben is
5'7" wide.
Ben is possibly the tallest then, at 6 foot.
But no, marvelous. It's, you seem like a nice group. You get on well with each other, and no quarrels. Thank you. Do you need aid in your travel? Happy to do so. Free wanderer. Can go wherever I want to.
That kind of stuff.
We do travel quite often, and I must admit, having somebody with healing capabilities would be a boon.
Well, yes. I mean, happy to do so until longer needed. I love it. I'll settle in just well here then, I think.
It's nice to find people who make themselves useful.
I don't go out of my way, but like you said, I can do things.
I'm sure that's true.
He's like halfway between Mazdak and Salviel. It's great.
And look, we all know, for me, completely made up on the spot for what's happening. So I love it.
Awesome.
The vibes are good.
So, we
He
should
feels very kind of. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say he feels very, golden age of the Empire Explorer. With the white pit helmet and the khaki uniform.
That is very much the vibes.
Livingston, I presume. Yes, that sort of thing.
Did you hear that though? You said you wanted to rest, and it sounded like time was ticking away into the night.
Indeed. We should set up some watches, just in case our hill giant friends decide to visit.
I
Ah,
think
yes.
that's wise.
To keep the time. Brilliant idea. Let's do this.
I will take first watch.
I'll take it with you. I'll get to know you, and I'm full of energy now, so why not?
Oh,
Awaken me when you need.
Mazdak
Okay.
will take his book in his arms, and also, learning from experience, as Mazdak does, he will loop his bag through his arm before he goes to sleep, just in case of tiny bears.
Glad to see that.
Mazdak's not stupid. Naive, yes, but not stupid.
tiny bears. Have you already looked at my notes for next time?
Exactly.
They may or may not be paying you a visit. But we will end it there for tonight. I think that was a very good rescue.
I think it was an excellent rescue.
Yes.
Right, we did.
Yeah.
We had a plan.
Being
We stuck to
being
the
still
plan,
alive.
kind of,
Yeah.
and it worked. Which is
Yeah.
There was one
Always a
point
bonus.
I was thinking I'd have to jump in and fight when you started casting Fiddy, but
Again, cleric for a while. I played several, but not for probably now going on 2 or 3 years. So it's. I was looking at the spell list and I was like, "Ah, that's the one." Thinking that I remembered the name of what they did. And I was like, "No."
Awesome. So yeah, we will. Yes, thank you very much for playing. Well done, Martin. It was a really good session. Welcome, Fiddy, to the investigators.
party again because he was part of this part before, wasn't
Yes, it was
Yes.
a while back.
What, an episode or two?
Oh, one episode, I think.
Wow.
Was it just the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Also,
were a
an
sorcerer.
introduction. Yeah, it was an introduction where he had to be rescued
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a bit of a habit.
by a tree frog.
it? I mean, to be fair, like the best place for Fiddy to exist is in a forest made of mushrooms because it means there aren't any logs for him to trip over.
This is very true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
So anyway, we of course will be back here on Tuesday for the next episode of The Elusive Tide, where things are very definitely getting a little bit dangerous. We will also be back here on next Sunday for The Long Rest of Excitement, or something like that. I don't know what the episode's actually called. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, enjoyed it, great. We love you. You're great. You're fabulous. If you didn't like it, however, well, you know what to do. Off you fuck. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye.